G'day everyone. Welcome to another Toon Under podcast, the Southern Hemisphere's biggest and best podcast for all things Newcastle United. I'm joined tonight by Bobby. Bobby, how are you, mate?
Good, Keegs. Going well.
Good. It's good to have it back. So, tonight we'll touch a bit about Harvey Barnes and ASM, a bit about the rollicking 3-3 draw in Philadelphia against Aston Villa in the summer series. And stay tuned. During the show, we will drop the details of our annual Toon Under podcast shirt giveaway for this season. So, don't know when it's going to drop in. I could just drop it in anywhere. So, stay tuned. Find out what you need to do in order to win yourself a brand new Newcastle United playing strip of your choice for this season. So, without further ado, if you're watching the video, please give us a like, comment on our YouTube, subscribe to our channel as well. That's 3 clues maybe that you might have to do to get yourself a t-shirt, playing shirt for this season. Tell your friends too as well. We want as many people in this competition as we can. You probably don't, because the less people have, the more chance you've got of winning. So, but don't be like that. Don't be a Scrooge. The more, the merrier. Bobby, I've been a bit off Twitter today. I was sort of watching the game, but not really following it through on my phone. It was a big game in terms of crowd for a preseason game. America's market's growing and things like that. How did you go with it all? Did you manage to catch a bit of it today?
Yeah, I was watching it all. I was on a Zoom call, which was a pretty important meeting, but I positioned myself so I could have the big screen TV in the background. So I got to watch it all, and was pretty impressed by what I saw, to be honest. I know Twitter was going into meltdown early, but I thought we were the better team, and I was very impressed with a few players.
Yeah, it was good. So, for those of you who don't know, it was a very generous 9 a.m. kickoff here in Australia.
Beautiful.
I know some of the UK fans were a bit upset having to stay up late and watch the game, but try living 38 weeks of it for us, and you understand.
I said that to someone.
A little bit of a indication of what we go through and put ourselves through in Australia, especially to watch Newcastle United week in, week out, so we can bring you this fabulous content that we do every week. So I guess the best place to start is to start. I've been sort of tossing this around all day, Bobby. What was this sort of unofficial title of the game? Was it just the summer series? Was it the Castor Cup? Was it the James Milner Cup, the Charles Nzobia Cup, the Shea Given Cup? I don't know, the Stephen Ireland or Nobby Solano Cup. Habib Beye played there as well. Is it the Habib Beye Cup? Which cup were we playing for this morning?
Probably the Sub on the Tyne Cup, to be honest. Don't mind having that up and running, but good opposition, Aston Villa. I think they're going to be very competitive this season. I think they'll be in the top 6 with us. So it's whatever cup you want to call it, Keegs. It was a good hit out and quality opposition.
I like Habib Beye. Let's go with the Habib Beye Cup.
I liked his chair. That was the best thing about Habib Beye.
It was a bit of a mouthful, but too many B's in there. But we'll roll with it anyway. We'll chuck the starting lineup up. I know it's a preseason game, and I mean, there's not really too much, I guess, to take out of it in terms of who played and who didn't play and things like that. I actually think there is a little bit you can take out of it with who didn't play. I think the main one for me was Joe Willock, Bobby. He obviously still, that hamstring injury must have been a pretty bad one that he suffered. I think, was it the third last game, Brighton, from last season when he pulled up. So, as always, I remember Eddie was a bit coy. He didn't think he was going to make the last 2 games of the season with that injury, but it's turned out to be a pretty bad one, I reckon, unless he's had some kind of reoccurrence or something like that, which we'll never know. But even the way he pulled up, I remember it didn't look good. So he's a watch, isn't he?
I've got concerns that he'll make the start of the season, that's for sure. I think, and plus missing a large chunk of the preseason isn't great to carry on for the year, to get that grounding and foundation of fitness and and everything else that goes with it, which is a real shame because he was looking really super last season, and another year of development and another preseason under his belt, he could have taken it all by storm. I think he's one that we predict will challenge in the English side. I think there was calls last year should be looked at. So yeah, it's disappointing not to have him. He was the big one that you'd like to see in the side, but not to be.
So how do you think that's going to roll now? So do you think, given the amount of time he's missed and the training that he's missed, obviously it was a pretty serious hamstring injury, do you think he'll get himself to a spot of fitness, I call maybe regular fitness, that he could come on, he could maybe start and play an hour, or he could come on for half an hour at the end and sort of come back maybe a little bit earlier? Or do you think he's going to maybe put himself through like a really heavy 4-week block once he's done and try and get himself to an Eddie Howe fitness level, and then sort of really throw his name forward to start and play games and play all games and things like that?
Yeah, I think our depth is a little bit better now. So I think having him do whenever he starts is to do his own preseason and then start on the bench and come on for cameos at the very start. So it might only be 10 or 15 minutes here and there, and then build up to half an hour, then to 45 minutes or whatever it is, and then a full 90 minutes as the season's progressed. I think that might be the best, because I don't think you can play in an Eddie Howe team. Well, you can't. We've seen that with Gordon. You can't play in an Eddie Howe team without having that foundation of fitness behind you, which is what preseason gives. So I think if he starts running in a couple of weeks, and from then that's the start of his preseason, he's got to put in the hard yards, and because we've got the depth, he can start on the bench.
Yeah, I think that's a blessing, especially with the Tonali signing, that there's no real, I guess, urgency for him to hurry up and get back into the team. And we'll touch on Elliot Anderson a bit later on as well. His first couple of games have been really impressive, and he's just sort of maybe given us that sixth midfielder that we kind of needed, I think, in January. But with the Tonali signing and his form, I think we've sort of pretty much covered ourselves now for central midfield positions. But we'll just quickly read through the lineup. Dubravka was in goal. Pope still recovering from that finger injury or finger operation that he had just before the end of the season last year. Trippier, Shah, Target, Dummett, Bruno, Tonali, Anderson, Almiron, Murphy, and Isak. There was a little bit of, I guess, question marks that was Dummett playing centre back and playing a 4 at the back, but by all reports, it looked like it was a 3 at the back. Bobby, is that how you sort of picked it up as well?
Yeah, I think we were playing 3 at the back. I think post-match Eddie mentioned it was a 3, and he's got to analyse how that went and why we conceded 3 sloppy goals and how we got opened up quite a bit. So I've got advice for Eddie, is stay away from the 3. That would be nice.
Yeah.
We don't have the team for it, and I don't like it at all. So, but yeah, it was definitely 3 at the back, and you could just see, like, I don't think Dummett's missed a lot of football, and I don't think he's quite at the level anymore. That's to be brutally honest. And Target looked absolutely lost as a left wing back. He didn't know when to attack, didn't know when to defend, and when he had to defend, he was just so slow. He looked like a semi-trailer trying to turn as well. So, but I think that was more about confusion rather than anything. So,
yeah,
a few question marks, but these are good to get in the preseason. It's nothing to worry about because we still look the superior team despite all those factors.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the whole reason for preseason, I guess, is you might have trained for some stuff like that, and it's a great opportunity to test things out while you've been doing your training to actually see how they work in a game, what works, what doesn't. You might try something for 15, 20 minutes and go, oh, shit, that actually worked. I'll put that in the back pocket, and we can take that back during the season as well. Like I said, I know it's preseason and it's experimenting and things like that. But when you're in any game, it doesn't matter. If you're 2-0 down after 11 minutes, there's a few sirens and alarm bells going off. I mean,
yeah,
I was on Google looking up Hearst companies in Philadelphia after the first 11 minutes, just in case I did things were going to get any worse. So,
I mean, the other factor is, Keegs, is we play Aston Villa the first game of the season, so you don't want to.
That's exactly right.
Play all your cards in this game and give a smart manager like Emery, that long to plan. So you want to keep him guessing it right up till the game.
Yeah, and I don't think with our experimentation and things like that, I don't think you could really take that much out of the game that he didn't know already. I mean, he's probably better off if he's looking for tactical stuff just to probably go back to the game we played against them at the end of last season. You probably get a lot more out of that than what you would for this game as well. But yeah, it wasn't the best start, and I think the scheduled drinks break come at the right time for us, just to maybe we can just get everyone in together again, and which normally happens anyway in a game. We normally have someone if things aren't going the way we need them to, someone will be I guess injured, and Eddie can quickly get the trips over and reset a few things and get the message to everyone rather than So the drinks break come at a great time, and like you said, I don't think we were that bad. It was a helter-skelter game in pretty hot and oppressive conditions by reports in Philadelphia, and very humid as well from what I heard and or what I read, sorry. But just after the break, Elliot Anderson got on the score sheet again with a really, really well-taken finish, really composed as well. And that sort of got me thinking, Bobby, is Elliot sort of this year's preseason, last year's Miggy, where he had an absolute blinder, if you remember. And I know we always say you don't read too much into preseason form, but he actually carried that form into the season as well. And Anderson, with a full preseason, a bit more confidence playing Premier League, and especially that game against Forest springs to mind, where he probably felt, hey, I can play at this level. He was really impressive, wasn't he?
He looks a beauty. He looks like he could start the start of the season for us. So, I mean, to have a, 20-year-old now or 21, I'm not too sure, but to have a young kid who's come through the academy and perform and probably be our best player in the preseason. And it's probably timely as well with Willock out. So we've got a guy that he looks more comfortable in the centre of the park, Anderson, rather than out wide. So I think, it all bodes well. And he's playing some spectacular football. I mean, he started off pretty sloppy, to be fair, but then he came in and sort of bossed the game after that. So, and a well-taken finish too.
Yeah, it was. I was really impressed, and he had a hand in the other goal as well with a shot that was just, I guess, parried. It's probably, I think, the correct term in the Slim Reaper, and he put another one under his belt. So he, like, another preseason, or his first real preseason, isn't it, under Eddie Howe? So he's going to be really exciting to watch, and I think it's going to be really exciting to see how Eddie utilizes him and Kellen Wilson. I mean, that the argument sort of raged on at the back end of last year as well, when they were both fit and both scoring. What do you do? And I can't see any real resolution to start the season off. I think it's just going to be interesting to see how they play with each other and what happens on the left-hand side, and then how does that affect Harvey Barnes, and sort of where does Gordon fit into the whole sort of scheme of things as well. So he's got a few headaches, but they're good headaches. They're good headaches to have. So we might we'll get to Harvey Barnes now. So it was announced, well, in the middle of the night. We woke up to the signings, and I guess it sort of went quiet. I think everyone assumed it was all done with the photos and stuff like that, but they were just waiting on the announcement. And then it was announced, well, yeah, I think middle of the day in the UK, and so we woke up to it here in Australia, and then a couple of hours later he's on the team sheet. so it was like, okay, he might have been in America for a few days then. So were you expecting him to come on?
No, but as he said, he's probably been there for a few days. He didn't just arrive and get on the park. But I think we'd be that stupid. They've kept it pretty close to their chest, the club. I was wondering if he was locked in a hotel room and they forgot that they had him there for a while. Because, I mean, he'd done the training ground. He'd met
Jesmond or something like that. Oh, shit. Did anyone let him out? Or... We probably shouldn't. We probably shouldn't make kidnapping jokes with regards to ownership and things like that.
No, we'll leave that alone. But yeah, he'd met with fans at the training ground. He'd been, like, you're just thinking, what the hell's going on? So my thinking is they wanted to get a letter of heads of agreement with ASM going before they could announce it, because it all plays into the FFP regulations we have over us at the moment. So that's my thinking of what happened, but I could be wrong. But it was good to see him there and good to see him get 20 minutes. And to go back to your point, I think the versatility we've got now to play, the flexibility, sorry, we've got now to play all these different players in different positions, particularly up front, is really positive for Eddie because he is a tactician. So different clubs and different teams will be able to do different things with. But I like Barnes coming into this side. I think he's going to have a massive season.
Yeah, and like I said, we always preface this by saying it was only a preseason game, but that 20 minutes or so showed that's just him as a player. He drives towards goal, he cuts in, he shoots, and things like that. And so that's I think we did lack that a bit, that directness, I guess, on the left hand side at times. So I think he's going to be a really, really big signing. So it was confirmed for a 5-year deal, I believe, undisclosed fee, which is pretty common these days when it goes to Newcastle United and transfers. So, and then I think mid-morning as well, before the game, Fabrizio tweeted that the ASM had passed his first part of the medical with his Saudi Arabian team. So, yeah, he'll be linking up with, I think it's Firmino. I think he's playing there as well. I think Mahrez is on that team.
Nice, yeah. Good
Mendy, I think
team, good
Mendy's there
front.
as well. Yeah. So he's going to have a ball over there. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of them shirts in Newcastle with Saint Maximin on the back of them as well, just quietly, which is fair enough.
According to Twitter, yeah, I think he's got a lot of fans that are very disappointed that he's not in the squad anymore. But yeah, good luck to him.
They're gonna
wish him all the best.
Yeah, and we're not gonna shit can him or anything like that. I think it's a good move for everyone, and he was great for us and what he did, especially during them dark years. He was probably, him and Callum Wilson were probably the lone beacons we had to look forward to each week because there wasn't much else going on. But mate, times change and everything moves on and stuff like that. Nothing lasts forever. So I think I put it I might have put it on Twitter actually, not in that group chat. Don't be sad he's gone. Be happy he was here. So that's where that is. So with regards to the game and stuff like that, Bobby, what did you like out of the game?
I think we controlled it. I think what I liked was not the defensive aspects of the game per se, but it's preseason, so that'll come. I like the way we controlled the ball. I liked our movement up front. Isaac looks set to explode again. I think you said it in the chat. I think he could be one of the best players in the world by the end of the year. He's just magnificent. I also thought, Anderson showed that he belongs. Lewis Miley, when he came on, was really composed and another one that we'd have around the squad, if not go out on loan, but he's another guy that
he upgraded the number 2. I'm not sure if you noticed that. He's gone from the 80s into the 60s now, so he's slowly knocking down. Yeah, knocking him down.
Yeah, he's doing well, but he's just. I personally think he's the one that's going to explode and be world class. That kid, but Anthony Gordon was superb. Continued on his great preseason. He's going to have a ripper year. So I think lots of positives to take out of that. I'm not going to talk about tactical stuff much because it was preseason. There was a lot of adventure and it was a bit like a circus, that game, to be honest. But if you're looking at individual players and how they look and whatever, yeah, there was a lot to look forward to. And even, I just want to mention, he got a bit of a tribute in a press conference, but I thought Jamal Lascelles was really good as well. And his vertical Shah-like ball to Gordon, which created the goal for Callum Wilson, was brilliant. So, if he can
I hadn't seen that from him before.
No, I didn't know he had that in his locker. So hopefully he does develop that, because I think, it was really good to see that press conference that Eddie just wanted to pay tribute, that it's not just the players that play every week. There's a whole squad that takes part, and you can see why we're so successful and have the team chemistry we have because of people like Jamal Lascelles as well. So he needs to take a lot of credit, and our fans need to, applaud him if he does leave, or if he stays, we just need to back him.
Yeah, and like you said, there's always going to be, in a 25-man squad, you're going to have 11 happy players. That's the reality of it, and no one enjoys not playing and sitting on the bench and stuff like that, even if you are getting paid very well to do it. these guys are still competitors and they want to compete and they want to show themselves and prove that they're a very good player and they deserve to be playing. So it's a bitter pill to take when someone tells you that you're not who you think you are and you're not that good and there's other people better than you, and it doesn't matter what level of sport you're playing. These conversations get held weekly, and like I said, there's two ways you can take it. You can throw your toys out of the cot and be a disruption, or you can actually be a really powerful asset and a really powerful teammate. And I think we've got 14 really valuable teammates with
And
regards to
Ryan
the
Fraser on
people
the
who
other
aren't
side.
playing. Yeah, well, he's not there, so he doesn't matter. um, so yeah, I think I just like seeing the game. I just like seeing everyone playing again against good opposition and things like that. And like Eddie's shirts are getting smaller or his pecs are getting bigger. I'm not sure which one's which at the
Bit of both,
moment.
to be honest. I think as his pecs
Tyndall,
get bigger, he gets the
yeah,
shirts a bit smaller.
yeah. Tyndall he has a great shade as well. That he's loving this American summer, I reckon.
I think also our kits looked superb. Like to see
Yeah,
them
I said
in a
that. I
game
said that when we were
situation.
2-0, yeah, when we were 2-0 down, I said, I don't care if we're shit. We're going to look good being shit, though. That's the main thing.
Yeah, we looked really
Where
good.
are
But
you on the socks?
not a fan yet. I'll probably grow into it. But I was just happy with the way the shirts looked. I thought it was
Yeah,
probably our best
they're unreal.
version to the ones behind you.
Yeah,
Since the ones behind you, I think these are top class. So I was really happy to see them out there and on some of these players.
yeah. So, well, speaking of players, we did get word last week that Tino Livramento was probably going to undergo a medical sometime over the weekend. Now, as far as we know, that hasn't happened. Do you have any insight, or has Southampton moved the goalposts, or do you know anything about that?
So I think what's happened is that there's been some goalpost move, but I'm not too sure. Like I'm not privy to all that sort of stuff at this stage. But there was a lot of information flowing that the deal had been agreed, and that actually came from Livramento's agency. That it's all been done and signed off, and it was for £30 million. But that was the package deal that wasn't up front. And then we're hearing stuff that the second offer's gone in of £30 million up front. So that's the package. That's it. It'll be 30 million. And apparently that's been rejected. But so what the truth is, I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
He's a player that we absolutely love and we want in the squad because we see them helping out with both fullback positions straight away. But he's the successor to Trippier. And a lot of people don't remember, but he was coming through the ranks and he was regarded as one of the best right backs, young right backs in the world before he did his, before
his
that, before he
ACL.
did his ACL. So he'd be absolutely top class. And my information is that Dan Ashworth wanted him at Brighton when he was at Chelsea. So this is a long scouting mission that we finally,
He's like a dog with a bone, isn't he? Well, if
yeah,
he's
he
got someone
came.
in his crosshairs, he doesn't let him go. He chases them and chases them.
No, but I think in terms of our plan going forward, he plays a significant role. So I'd look for that one to ramp up. I don't think Southampton do value him or do want 50 million. I think that's just some PR nonsense. But I think one of the journos I spoke to was real confident that they'll come to a resolution sooner or later. So let's hope it's sooner because we need him in the preseason squad.
So when you say he's viewed as the successor to Kieran Trippier, where does that leave Harrison Ashby, do you think?
Depth. You need depth, don't
Depth,
you? I think Ashby will go out on loan. I think they've got high hopes for Ashby, but not as high as someone like
Livramento,
Livramento.
yeah.
I think he's different level.
Yeah, so if he does come in as we hopefully expect and hope he does, where do you think our next bit of business needs to be?
I think we need a right centre back to understudy for Shah. I think that's important. So depth in that position, and personally speaking, a left back, I think it's really important that we get one of those in. Now, talking about Livramento, they said he can help out there, but I don't think he's played much at left back, so it's a risk to have him in that squad. But I don't know how deep the FFP stuff is and why we're going for him, because he can help out at both positions, and we think that's enough cover. So if it was up to me, right now, I would be saying we're pretty all right up front.
I think so too. I think our midfield and attacking sort of players, I think we're really, really good. Yeah, and I think I'd almost say not so much an understudy. If we can get someone along the lines, not a Sven Botman, but sort of that age bracket that can sort of come in and play straight away, I think that should be the aim. If we can't, we can't. If they have to be a little bit younger to develop, maybe 1 or 2 years. But I do really think that we should be aiming to get someone, and if that's that Dasasi or someone like that who can come in and play straight away, that's fantastic. But yeah, I think as well we need a ball playing right-sided centre back.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's hard to say that our defence is probably the weakest part of our squad when it was the number one defence in the league last season.
It makes absolutely no sense.
But it is, and I don't. No offence to Big Dan Burn, because I love him, but I don't want to see too much from at left back this season. And I think I'm not too sure if Matty Targett can play, as many minutes as well. So,
but a great squad option to rotate through for games,
absolutely,
and things like that.
Absolutely, and we're going to be fighting on a lot of fronts. So we're playing Premier League, which is exhaustive anyway. We've got Champions League, whatever comes from that, whether we drop into the Europa or whatever it is, because you'd want to win the Europa if we do drop down. Then you've got FA Cup, League Cup. You'd want to try to get a trophy there. So there's a lot of fronts and a lot of games that we're going to be in. So we need that really depth of squad. So I'm not saying Matty Targett can't play, but I'm saying I won't want to be seeing him starting
every week,
first game of the season.
Yeah, and I think just on Dan Burn, I think Serena accidentally leaked his contract extension on Instagram. I'm sure she's an ultimate pro, friend of the pod. I'm sure she didn't mean it. She quickly took it down, but we're not sure how long it is or anything like that. But I think, a Dan Burn contract extension will be announced sometime shortly.
Well, he's on the retained list, so I think it had to be. But yeah, I think she posted a photo of one of her photos for the month.
I think she had a bit of a photo dump. Unfortunately for her, that was in there. But fortunate for everyone else that he's going to stick around. And yeah, like you said, I think if we get another left back, he could be a great squad option again for a left-sided centre back, or that left back option as well, which is going to be a really, really important thing throughout the course of the season, like you said, with all the games we hope we're going to play. Just one other thing as well. We just want to send our best wishes to Shaka Hislop. Yeah,
absolutely.
Bit of a unfortunate incident. Got himself in the sick bay this morning in California. I think it was Real Madrid and AC Milan friendly in California, and yeah, unfortunately, he looked like he fainted and things like that. But reports, I think, have come through that he's okay. Or at this stage, he's okay anyway. They're obviously going to run all their medical testing and things like that just to try and find the cause and if there's something a bit more sinister. But yeah, former goalkeeper, a great player of ours. So we wish him all the best, and hopefully he can get himself out of sick bay and back into his punditry stuff as well. But just so before we wrap up, it's time to announce, big drum roll, Bobby. The annual, it is annual because we've done it once, so it's now the annual Toon Under podcast shirt giveaway. So I'll read these details out. So
this is massive.
I do not stuff this up. So the way to get yourself a brand spanking official, not a DH gate, an official Newcastle United shirt from the 23-24 season, a shirt of your choice. You can pick the home shirt, the green away shirt, or that absolute sexy third kit that got released on Friday. It is your choice. You can pick what you like. If you want to name a number on the back, if that's the way you like your cookie crumbled, you can get that as well. We're feeling generous this season. So in order to get that, there is 3 things you need to tick off. You need to subscribe to the channel, number 1. Super important. Number 2, you have to like the 3 pods that this competition is going to run for. So this is our first pod. We'll have another one later in the week and another one next week. You have to like each of them 3 pods to be included, and you need to comment on these 3 videos. We will run a nice, what's the word I'm looking for? An investigative campaign to make sure. We'll get a list that will analyze the data. We'll crunch the numbers. We'll chuck your name into a special magic generator that we haven't actually got yet. It won't be Keith. We can confirm it will not be Keith, the AI computer. He will not be judging this competition. And the winner will be announced for the 4th video, which will probably be at the end of next week. So just going through that again, you have to subscribe to the channel, like the 3 pods where we mentioned this shirt. So it'll be this one, the next one, and the one after. Comment, leave a comment on the 3 pods as well. And then you will be in the draw to win a brand new 2023-24 Newcastle United shirt, the new home kit, the green kit, all that beautiful bastard. I think it's called Carbon. I think the official color was Carbon on Craig's docket when he purchased it Friday afternoon. So Carbon and Electric Yellow, I think it was. So, yeah, you can pick one of them. If you want to name a number, we're more than happy to do that. We'll ship it direct to you, so you don't have to leave your house to pick it up. You might have to go to if you have a letterbox like us normal people do in Australia, you can pick it up. You might be a UK fan who's got a letterbox in the door, and you actually will not leave your house. So that's how you get it. So don't forget, like the video, comment on the video, and you are subscribe to the channel. You are in the draw to win this fantastic prize, the annual Toon Under Pod shirt giveaway. So get liking, get clicking, get writing, leave us a comment. Let us know who you'd want on your shirt. If you want to get a custom one as well, haven't run that by the committee yet, but you might be able to get a custom name and number on it as well. You might be able to get Hurst 2 maybe, or something like that. So that's it, mate. Bobby, that'll wrap us up for tonight, mate. Thanks for your time as always.
No worries. Thanks, Keegs.
Thanks everyone for watching, listening. Don't forget, enter this competition. I guarantee it is worth your time. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your wives, your girlfriends, your mistresses, tell them all to like, comment, the more the merrier. And we'll see you next time. I think later on in the week we'll have another another review of the next summer series game, a bit of news kicking around as well. And that'll be your second chance to enter the competition. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.